Alright, welcome back to another video. So I have a problem with my backup camera, my 2013 CRV. When I put it in reverse, it's all foggy. And that's because moisture has penetrated the camera. So in this video, I'm going to show you what I did to fix it. Alright, so you can see the moisture inside of the lens, and there's nothing you can do to fix that. We just have to replace the camera, unfortunately. Alright, so to do that, we'll open the trunk. We're going to have to remove some trim. Basically, all these panels have to come off just so we can access the wiring, so we can disconnect it. Basically, there's just some clips, and we will pry all these panels off. There's only one screw that is holding the panel on. It helps to have a cat claw or trim removal tool like this, that way we don't break the clips. But it isn't absolutely necessary. You can also use a screwdriver. Alright, so here I am pulling the panel down. You see it just pops right off. And we didn't break any of these clips, but if you did, you just want to put them back on. Now for the sides, they just pull straight off also. And there'll be a little catch that hooks it to the bottom of the black panel. Once we have all of the top trim pieces out of the way, we'll start working on this panel here. There's one screw, Phillips head, right here that needs to come out with a screwdriver. Alright, to get this panel down, we'll start at the front and we'll pull down. And you'll see there it's caught on the latch there. The handle, the plastic on the handle with the screw removed, it's actually important to pry that out first so you don't break it. I snapped a little piece off of mine because I was prying a little too hard, so take your time and be careful with that part. That just has to come out first, and then the whole panel will basically fall right off. Alright, so here on the inside, we're going to disconnect the wiring. To remove the camera, there's a little black clip. It's pretty hard to remove without breaking it. To access the camera, we'll remove these two 8mm bolts. There's one on each side. And then this black plastic trim panel gets pried out. It also has clips in it. And that will actually expose the camera to make it so you can remove it. Alright, so now that I've got it open, you can see that I've disconnected the wiring harness. Just a little clip you push to have that come apart. That way we can remove the whole housing easily. So right where my finger is, we're going to push in on that clip and then push the camera out, and then we will carefully pry out the other side. So as you can see, it's loose, and we'll pull it this way, and the whole housing will just come out like that. So there's two things you can do. You can buy a cheap replacement that just replaces this piece right here for around $40, which I do not recommend because it will only have one view. It is not quite a factory replacement. Then again, you don't want to spend the $300 to $400 that it would cost to buy the factory part. And I believe they've discontinued making it, so it's getting harder and harder to get. So I'll leave links in the description below to the part that I used, and then I'll leave a link to a cheaper part where you can just replace that little piece there. Alright, so you can just take out all the little Phillips screws and just replace the camera like I showed you, or showing you here. But you will lose all the views and you'll just have a wide angle only view with part of the screen blacked out. So some of the cheaper ones you'll find on Amazon or eBay, they do work, but the camera is not like the original. So when you buy the original, you'll get this whole piece right here. So basically, it is just the reverse or removal to put it back together. And we will try it out. Alright, so here's what I'm talking about. If you go ahead and buy the cheaper camera and install that, you can see the whole view is there, but there's a black line on the bottom of the screen and you cannot change the view. So everything's there, it's just like the camera is the wrong resolution. It does work though, and is probably a good enough solution for some people. So that's why I thought I would include it in this video. Alright, so here's the more expensive self-contained aftermarket all-in-one unit I'm going to be installing to retain all the factory features. So same thing, get this popped in here. This one comes with a new harness. Alright, so after you get your trim panel to put back on in the back here, there's this little rubber piece. I just thought I'd touch on this real quick. Take a little screwdriver like this. You want to make sure that the rubber sits on the outside. So if you just kind of carefully, see I'm just like working it along here to make sure that covers. That way it's a proper seal all the way across. Alright, so now that we've got it installed, we go ahead and put it in reverse. You can see there's our wide view. You see that? Normal view and top down view, just like it's supposed to be. Alright, while we're at it, I thought I'd show you a little trick. If we press our menu button, you can see the menu comes up, and then press the menu button and hold it while holding down the source button for 4 seconds. So we're gonna press both of them. We're gonna keep holding, then you see this menu come up. Now let off the buttons. We're gonna scroll down to our camera, and then you can click camera. So you can actually bring up the camera anytime while you're driving by doing that, so you can watch what's going on behind you. Then to switch views, actually this is just running through the dots here. I'm pressing the source button right now. You can actually see you can move these dots. You can set these lines up where you want them. And how I'm doing that is I'm using the down and the up key on the menu. So if I hit the source button, see I can move that whole line. I can adjust it to wherever I want. See what I'm doing there? So it's kind of a neat, you can bring the whole thing in and out like that. And if I press this button here, it will change cameras. And then again, you can do that source thing. You can move these lines. To get out of here, you just hit the menu button. While we're in that same menu, I'll get back into it here. You can do a display check. Just make sure everything's working properly. What else we can do? Product information, artwork, make sure Pandora's turned on. This is just kind of like the hidden settings menu. This inline diag tests everything. It wants you to hit your buttons. See? So that's how that works. So just a little something else to show you. that wraps up this video. Hopefully it was helpful. I wanted to show you how to change out the backup camera on your Gen 4 CRV. I showed you a cheaper camera that you can use. I really don't recommend it though, because like I said, it doesn't really look very good and you lose that factory functionality. But there'll be links to both in the description. Obviously the more expensive one is the one you probably want to use, because then it's just like the factory camera. It works really good. All right, so be sure to like the video if it helped you out. If you have a comment, question, leave it below. And until next time, we'll see you later.